like it's being sucked out.
Ah, there we go.
Andy! Hey, leave it. Hey! Leave it.
I don't know why this is.
Barking at towards the neighbors to the back. Where they have the dogs.
There we
Andy!
go. Alright, now after some slight technical difficulties, we are filming inside of a teepee. That's the smoke hole. You can see the smoke coming out.
Put a new seal on this thing next year.
Yeah.
Right now we're doing a smoke study, figure out how well it drifts out, what might need to be changed. Got metal underneath the wood burning stove, keep it safe. And we're going to be putting carpet in here later. Getting it all set up with
Once we have the fan in here,
Andy! Stop!
like we do every other year,
air
it
mattresses,
should be enough to finish it off.
beanbag chair.
Yeah, I think we're good on smoke.
Okay.
Just needs to finish heating things up so this stops leaking.
Right. So it expands and...
But once it's hot, then we'll be good. This is kind of a little thick to be putting in here unless you
I
want
have
to.
no way of splitting it. It's too bad. And there's nothing else split.
That's fine.
So for insulation, they hang fleece. I think traditionally it would be hides or
Bison hides, moose hide, elk hide, deer hide, bear hide, any of that kind of stuff would have been used for insulation, for sleeping on, for sitting on, wrapping up in, things like that.
yeah.
If you go back far enough, there was no such thing as canvas for teepees either. They were all made out of bison hides.
Bison hide? Yeah.
Bison and I believe moose. It's either moose or elk that I heard.
Imagine how heavy those were.
Yeah.
Which is why when Lakota started using horses, they started, what were those rigs that called? Travois?
Mm-hmm.
That they carried the teepee covers and the poles and everything with.
Yeah.
So
And then
they didn't have to do it.
In the teepee cover, they would wrap whatever belongings and stuff
Right.
they had, so everything was secure and it was all packed together, and it was actually a pretty easy
Yeah.
haul.
Yeah, they used it as a satchel.
How frequently did the Lakota pack up and move? Is it like seasonal or yearly?
You know, I'm not Lakota, so I can't speak for that.
Yeah.
I would suggest asking somebody who's Lakota. I do know they moved seasonal, but in contrary to common belief that they followed the bison,
Yeah.
it was actually the other way around.
Bison
They
followed
took
them.
care of the land,
Yeah.
so they were moving seasonally as they were tending the land for the different season changes, and the bison would follow them because it was the bison's food source.
Yeah.
So, kind of the same thing that we've talked about, raising and indigenously farming food animals,
Yeah.
wild animals on managed land, and it's the land that you tend and the land itself tends the animals. So that's just an indigenous practice overall for raising food animals.
Yeah.
At one time, I mean, everything was free, so we didn't have to worry about managed land and specific
Yeah.
places where we had to control populations
Yeah.
because they were free to just roam. Now it's a little bit harder because once you have your land limitations and you have to fence things off and contain everything, so you've got to control your population so the land can sustain them. But it's still completely possible, and
Yeah.
it eliminates most of the expense of farming. The farming that we're used to here in the US is European farming techniques that came over here from Europe during colonization, and it was all forcefully applied.
Yeah.
And it's time now that we need to get back to our indigenous ways of doing it, because not only is it unsustainable with the food crisis that we're having, which has been an obvious thing, but it's also causing a good portion of the pollution that we're dealing with, because those practices just are polluting.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. You put too many animals on too small of an area of land. It costs a small fortune to feed them and care for them because there are too many. And it spreads disease, and just everything starts to go sideways. You can only do something like that for a period of time before something is going to be off balance. Whereas our indigenous practices, it's all about balance. So if we maintain the balance, we don't ever have to worry about all the other things. And we don't have to spend millions of dollars to farm our animals.
Yeah.
Oh, we're burning pretty good now.
Is the smoke going up, or is the smoke kind
There
of
isn't
diminished?
a whole lot of smoke anymore because we've got a good flame going.
Okay.
And I'm not going to stoke any more wood in here because I don't see the need.
No, there isn't.
It's already starting to warm up. Somebody's not shivering anymore.
It's starting to feel heat radiating.
Yep.
So is there anything else you want to talk about, your plans for the TP or the Dawn's Greenhouse School?
Not really much change for the teepee this year. It's just a matter of getting it insulated enough for a Wisconsin winter in our backyard in the city.
Yeah.
It would be completely different if we could be out on the land somewhere and put it in a better place so that it was in a good location with the facing the right direction and with tree cover in the right places to block wind and things like that. But we don't have the ability to do that here, so we supplement with pieces of fleece and blankets, carpeting, insulation.
Mm-hmm.
We have electric and internet run out here so that we're able to use it all year round. The greenhouse, now that we've got all of the plants moved today, those will settle in over the next week or two while we finish working on cob work and sealing up the back greenhouse. Then we need to get the water barrels in place, the heaters into those and the pumps into those. And by the time we get to all of that, we should be ready to do some planting for some new seeds. I'll be doing that indoors to start them where it's nice and warm.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they're big enough, we'll bring those out to the greenhouse. And then you get some planting lessons
Yeah.
so that you can start learning your plants.
Right.
And we'll do some tracking as far as growth rates go. I want to get a thermometer out there so we can track temperature easily. And with any luck, we can start doing some live videos so that others can start learning while we are just going through our processes here. And we can share that with others. And with any luck, maybe the community, some others in the community will join us and come to learn hands-on.
Yeah. Yeah, I started a playlist on my YouTube so that we can kind of see everything in order too and see the progress around in the videos.
Everything is a process, but when you first start out, it's a lot of extra work because you've got to get things in place, do your troubleshooting, beat the weather if you get started late, things like that. But once everything is in place, it's actually pretty simple to maintain. Our garden bed was the same way. The worst of it was the work of constructing it and battling the city to be allowed to keep it.
Yeah.
Once we had it constructed and filled with dirt, we planted it in a day and watered it a couple times, maybe in a month.
Yeah.
When we weren't getting all of the rain, and the rest of it was just harvesting. We would pull weeds when we went out to harvest because there weren't a whole lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just enjoying the plants and reaping the harvest, eating the food, sharing the food with the community that needs it. So the greenhouse will be the same way. Once it's initially set up, the worst of the work will be over, and the rest of it will just be fun. Playtime, learning.
Right?
Okay, hand me the duct tape.
Awesome. So by the next time that we have video inside of the teepee. We'll probably have a lot more set up for how it's going to look over the next months. And I'm excited. It's really neat to look up and see the way that it opens and closes. It's nice to see different engineering types. So it's kind of how the flow is in between the outer layer and the inner layer. They can use the draft from
This piece
the
over
outside.
here is called an ozan,
An ozone?
and this is meant to trap water and rain moisture as it comes in from the top, where it doesn't completely close even when the smoke flaps are closed.
And
Yeah.
holding heat.
And it helps to hold in the heat, and it also helps force the smoke from the back of the ozan here up and out the flaps.
Oh yeah.
And then the lower part where you see the inside layer, that is the liner,
Okay.
and there is a gap in between the liner and the outer canvas so that the air comes in from the bottom on the outside and it flows up, and instead of coming into the teepee where we are and cooling it down, it flows up the outside of that liner and up out the top of the teepee with the smoke flaps and the top of the poles.
Yeah.
So it helps carry the smoke upward instead of down and filling it up where we're sitting.
Okay. You can really see the fan on this going now that there's heat.
Yep.
That's a heat generated fan, so there's no electricity to run that.
Yeah.
We'll be putting a couple of those into the greenhouse as well.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not very expensive. They do a good job.
Alright, well that's this video for now. Check back in and see what else we do.